Hi, in this presentation, I'll be talking about enhancing biology education for English language learners, ELLS for short, through multimodal learning approaches. Over the past 3 years, the population of English language learners in our school has increased by 25%, as you can see from the chart here. The distribution of English language learners by ethnicity is as follows. We have 60% of English language learners being Hispanics, we have 25% being Chinese, and we have 15% being Vietnamese. The English language learners in our school experience the following challenges. There's a language barrier. They have limited listening and speaking skills due to language barrier. They have limited reading and writing skills. They lack confidence because of the language barrier as well. There's also cultural differences. Now, these challenges make the students unable to connect prior knowledge in science to current knowledge, which negatively impacts their performance. Are these challenges being addressed in the classroom in our school? No. Why? It's because of our current teaching method or approach, which is known as the traditional teaching approach. Now, this teaching approach is text heavy and involves repetition and memorization of information. This is very boring and leads to students not paying attention in class because all they see is text and they do not experience hands-on approach. Why is traditional teaching method ineffective for English language learners? According to Lee and Buxton, since the traditional teaching approach is text heavy, English language learners have difficulty or experience difficulty during class because they learn these difficult science concepts in a new language, which is English, and they lack the language skills to be able to do that. And so this causes anxiety and stress in these students, and they feel overwhelmed by the lesson. This will make them struggle to understand the lesson and leads to them not eventually paying attention in class. Due to these challenges, scientists have been able to find a better approach to teaching, which will help English language learners immensely. This is known as the multimodal learning approach. So, the multimodal learning approach, in a nutshell, is using visual, auditory, and kinesthetic approach or elements to deliver lessons. This will help students interact more effectively with the content and will be able to understand it and implement it when the need be. Let's look at some of the modes of multimodal learning approach. The first element is the visual element. This is when visual aids are used in class, such as educational comics, animations, simulations, and integration of high quality diagrams. An example is, let's take a topic in biology, which is cell. When teachers are able to structure the teaching or the lesson with visuals where students can interact with it, whether be it video diagrams or high quality pictures, students are able to see exactly what is happening. And with the use of video, especially for cell processes, they see in real time what is happening. So they're able to understand the concept and are able to implement the knowledge gained when the need be because of the use of visual tools. The next element is auditory element. This is when think aloud strategies such as verbalizing thought by teachers to model scientific reasoning and academic language. This auditory element also includes the integration of audio resources such as podcasts and narrated presentations into lesson plans. The next is kinesthetic elements. This is when there's an increased focus on hands-on experiments and interactive demonstrations. There's implementation of role-playing as well. Using all these tools will help deliver the lesson in a more effective way for English language learners to understand. Let's look at some of the benefits of multimodal learning. The first category being academic benefits. There's better comprehension and retention of biological concepts, and also there's a bridge between the achievement gap between the English language learners and the natives. There are supporting studies to show these benefits of multimodal learning. Now, with the use of multimodal learning, there's greater participation and willingness by English language learners to contribute to the lesson. This impacts class discussions and scientific inquiry. At the end of the day, it reflects in their academic performance as well. The language benefit include support for English language development through visual aids. There's a reduced language load on English language learners, and simultaneously there's the development of scientific knowledge and language skills. Another benefit is inclusive learning environment where English language learners are empowered to participate in class and take risks. There's also reduced anxiety and stress among English language learners because they are no longer scared to make mistakes in class. And this fosters positive attitude in the classroom towards science education. At the end of the day, the school will also benefit from the use of or the implementation of multimodal learning in the classroom. There will be enhanced reputation through improved academic performance. There will be potential increase in student enrollment, and the school will also be eligible to receive grants and funding for STEM education because of the performance of the students. Let's look at the implementation plan. First, curriculum development, which should take about 2 months. There should be a committee formed for which comprised of biology teachers and English language learning specialists. There should be a review and adaptation of existing curriculum to incorporate multimodal elements. And during this time also, there should be development of new multimodal learning materials and resources which will help teachers teach these students. Another aspect is teacher training, which should take about 1 month because teachers who will be teaching these students need training to be able to effectively implement multimodal learning approaches. During this time, intensive professional development sessions on multimodal instruction should be conducted. Hands-on workshops will also be provided to these teachers to help them adapt to multimodal learning materials. The third aspect is the pilot program, the first semester, where we're going to begin implementing the multimodal learning approaches. Now, during this semester, the new multimodal approach will be implemented in 2 biology classrooms. And during this period, feedback will be gathered from teachers and students, and this feedback will be assessed to see how impactful this multimodal learning approach has been. And then continuing to semester 2, there will be a full rollout of multimodal learning throughout all the biology classrooms. And as this is going on, there will be ongoing support and resources for teachers to help them improve how they deliver lessons to students. And also during this time, the committee should be able to continue to refine and adapt their approach based on feedback and results that we get from teachers and students. After that, there will be evaluation and reporting. There should be regular assessment of the impact of student engagement, performance, and language development. There should also be comparison on the results with previous years and the control groups, which is the English language learners. Also, all findings will be reported to stakeholders, and based on the feedback that is being reported, they would consider expanding the approach to other science subjects or completely shutting it down. Let's look at the budget implication of this implementation of multimodal learning approach in our school. The initial investment will be £12,000, and the cost breakdown is £4,000 for curriculum development materials, £2,500 for teacher training workshops, and £5,500 for new learning materials, which include visual aids and manipulators. Now let's take a look at the potential benefit of this investment. There will be reduced need for English language support in science classes because students will now improve their language skills. There will be increased funding through improved school performance and grant eligibility. Now, there will also be a long-term savings on remedial programs as student performance will improve. So if student performance improves, there won't be any need for putting so much money into creating remedial programs to help students get better academically. The implementation of multimodal learning approaches will position Brighton High School as a leader in inclusive science education. Hence, I urge the board to approve and support this proposal. Thank you.